Warning: the following views that are expressed on the Dr. Quack house calls that are expressed by the guests are not necessarily the views of this show. Strong language, partial nudity, violence may occur. Viewer discretion is advised. There we go. I had to make sure the mic was working. How we doing, everybody? Welcome to the house calls. I'm Dr. Quack, and we cover a lot of promotions out there in the promo world, and we're getting ready to cover one more. I'm getting ready to bring on my special guest here, the owner of SME Social Media Entertainment, Sean Shady Mckinzie. There he is, folks. Welcome.
What's going on?
How we doing? Look at that beautiful title. Go ahead and show that title there. Look at that.
That was nice. It's got the removable side plates.
Ooh, removable. Like you can take them off?
Yeah, like whoever wins, we're going to get custom side plates made in their honor. And whenever they lose the belt, have to ship it on to somewhere else, they can keep their side plates. So
that is a pretty looking title. I will say that. But yeah, I want to start this off here because some of the viewers may not know. Tell us about SME, what it's about, and what do you like to accomplish out of this?
Okay. Social media entertainment isn't like your normal e-fetting promotional company. What social media entertainment does is I promote all of the other companies like Heart and Soul Promotions, Defiance, SWA, GWF, the shows that put out good quality product and put forth, hard effort into what they do. It's my job as social media entertainment to showcase that and showcase them. So I basically just post the shows from the different companies on my page. What I do a couple of times a year is we're going to hold a World Cup where different companies associated with SME are invited. They get 4 members each. So we're going to do actual trophies to the winner and stuff this year, to the company owner of the winning team. And then we're going to hold the tournament for this belt right here starts in July. So that's only one representative of our company. Take Heart and Soul, for instance. They're going to have to either choose who they want to represent their company or hold qualifiers. Different companies are holding, doing it different ways. So, but basically what I need from the companies in July is one member of your company, the guy who you think is the absolute best that, can come and win this. And we're going to figure out who is the absolute number one a couple of times a year amongst all the companies because not everybody gets along in this game at all times. So that's why different companies exist. Everybody has their own little groups and cliques that they hang out and get along with, and those elite alliances change, and you get new companies that get started up. You get companies that's how there are so many companies in the promo world today. Is somebody got mad, left one company, and started another. Brought a couple of people along, got some new people to come in, and vice versa. And it's just a continuous process. I've seen it happen over 25 years and progress in different ways. So instead of running a typical company like everybody else does, I wanted to really showcase the entire format to really help push this game, in business to some of us, into the forefront and move it on to the next platform that I know that it can be upon. It's just a matter of fact of getting, the right things in front of the right people and showcasing it the right way. Social media entertainment, figure that out, and we're going to make it happen at some point.
Okay. So tell me, who is all a part of the SME? Like, I know there's different brands out there, like you have SWA and you have GWF. Tell us about that.
Well, it's not like people just tried to refer to us as IW and putting us under a network platform.
I've
I'm
heard
not
that.
trying. I'm not trying to oversee all these companies. Okay, I'm not trying to come in and tell them how to run their business and how to run their companies, how to choose who they choose or do what they do. As long as they're putting out a good quality show, because the guys behind the scenes work hard,
You
just as
mean
hard as the people that put the promos out there.
you don't want to
Um,
be Vince McMahon? You don't want to be in
no,
charge of it all?
well, I mean, it's not necessarily about being in charge of it all. I mean, I am in charge of SME, but it's I'm not trying to oversee each individual company and put them under an umbrella and be like, you're owned by SME, like that. That's not the whole premise of SME. If you're associated with SME, that just means you've got a good company, and you want to be associated with other good companies and know where the other good companies are. Those are the companies whose shows are going to be posted on the page.
Mama,
Um, you're,
you're but yeah, I mean, and that's just the wild thing you see because now you're starting to see a lot of promotion groups that are joining together. It used to be a lot of people were like, this is my part of the sandbox, fuck your side of the sandbox, I don't care. Now you're starting to see people collaborate. Like you have you guys over here, you have like Penn, they have a couple of people together with
yeah.
Feds. I mean, do you think that's the right way to go?
Well, see, here's the thing. We're all about promoting Penn. You know what I'm saying? Because they promote a bunch of different companies. We're all about promoting EFED TV under Josh Byers, who promotes heresy and blasphemy and UWO and a couple of other companies under that umbrella. I'm not trying to be that umbrella, one of those type of umbrellas. I'm a bigger umbrella. I'm the biggest umbrella. You know what I'm saying? So I oversee all because I've been everywhere. I've been in and out of every company, and I know the good ones to go to. I know the bad ones to steer away from. We won't go into details about that. You want to know about that? Message me. I'll let you know. But if they're not on the if their show's not on the social media entertainment page, more than likely that a lot of shows just do written results. I'm sorry, but I'm not posting written results on the page. You know what I'm saying? SWA puts a lot of work in their show production. Heart and Soul puts a lot of work in their show production. Defiance puts a lot of work into theirs. Um, there's so many other companies um, that are that put so much work and effort into what they do, and it just doesn't get recognized except for on their pages. I'm giving them a platform for their shows and stuff to be seen elsewhere besides just there. So that way people can come to a place and be like, hey man, what's a good company I can go to? Hey man, go check out Social Media Entertainment. There's over 20, so um
So here, I got a big question for you since yesterday was pretty much like Black Monday for everybody. And we're on the platform right now. We're talking about StreamYard because they have now said that if you have a group, you cannot have StreamYard third parties on there directly. What was the process for you on that? Did you have a lot of issues? Was there no issues? How did that work out for the last 48 hours for you?
the only issues we seem to have had yesterday was StreamYard kind of shutting down a little bit because there was so much traffic in there, people panicking and trying to start up new pages and this, that, and the other, and new accounts. And none of that was really necessary. You just had to have your page set up right. You can still go live from StreamYard to your page, but you just can't go live. You'd have to share the link to the group page. You can't be live directly from the group page. So it doesn't really affect. It affects some people how they do their shows,
Yeah.
but not how most of the shows associated with SME do theirs. Most of the people like Defiance pre-record their shows. SWA goes live from YouTube and then shares to 3 pages from there, and then we just share the links out to other pages and groups. But it always sends you directly to the the YouTube or the SME page.
Right. I mean, now some people, they're like, maybe we'll just go straight to YouTube. I noticed the biggest problem with that was if you can't go live from your page, then nobody gets notifications. Like, if you look, on your news feed, all of a sudden on Facebook, hey, for example, SME is live. You
Right.
won't see that now if it's a group.
It's all about how your page was set up too. Like social media entertainment is set up like a gaming page. It's not
Yes.
set up like a typical group page. So um, I don't know if that had any effect, but I tried to let people know about that ahead of time. Uh, it's just one of those things. Like we didn't know. We didn't know how it was going to affect the platform. And like I said, it's going to affect a bunch of different companies in different ways because everybody streams differently. Everybody has their pages set up differently. Everybody has their groups labeled, under different categories differently. Like I said, mine was categorized under a gaming page. So
Yeah.
I've got it set up to where eventually I can get stars. And it's not about me getting paid. It's about me getting paid to give back. That pay, like, you've said it before, it pays for things like this. It pays for things like t-shirts, trophies.
I don't even want to ask how much that belt
I
costs.
was excited, that stuff isn't free. You know what I mean? But people like myself, we have learned to give back over 20 something years to this sport. I'm really trying to escalate the platform of this sport. To me, it is a sport. Anything that you're putting forth effort into and you're verbalistically using your brain to come out and get a win over someone, that to me is something that needs to be noticed on a bigger scale other than just YouTube and Facebook, man. Like, that Dana White sold Power Slap, you know what I'm saying? And I sat here and watched it, you know what I mean? So tell me someone wouldn't watch this on HBO. They pay $9.99 for it already. You know what I mean? When there's nothing on a Sunday, trust me, they're going to click on this and be like, what is that? And they're going to get interested just like everyone else does because they're like, hey, I can do that, until they find out they can't, until they find out people exist that are a lot more smarter than they are and verbalistically more intelligent as far as attacking someone that way.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, let's get into the big one here, the big thing that's going on here in July. Now, you're talking about a tournament for this title. What makes this like a special tournament? Can you go over what's going to happen, what kind of rules,
Okay,
things like that?
The whole premise behind this title, Grant Miller ran the EWN. And what the EWN did, the World Cup once a year, which is what I was talking about doing. I've just pretty much taken over for him. He wanted to, he needed a break, and so, but with the EWN, there was only ever like 5 or 6 companies ever involved, in the World Cup and things of that nature. A couple of times there were a few more teams, but people didn't show up. So I expect that things like that to happen again because I'm trying to achieve much more than that. But there was never an actual title for the number 1 spot. I won the number 1 spot. And so I decided to get a title made for it and file it under a new name, Social Media Entertainment, and, actually give it, a face. And give the number, the person who, there is a number 1 son of a bitch out there every year, and it changes. You know what I mean? People, superstars in this game, and they come and go. Just like me, I've come and gone in this business for years, taking time off and come back. It's just it's how the sport is.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so when you enter this tournament, can you actually go in as an independent? Like, do you have to represent a company?
Here's the thing that I have come to learn about that, because there are a lot of people that want in on it that they're only in 1 or 2 companies, and that company's not going to pick them, but they want an opportunity. The way I see that is if there's companies not picking you, there's probably a reason for it. They don't have faith in you, and it's not that they don't believe in you or like your product or think that it's good. They know the competition that's out there. You may have only been exposed to 1 or 2 feds, and other people like myself have been exposed to 100. So I know there are so many great, talented people in this game, and any given promo someone can win, and to judge those promos objectively, at the end of it all, and for somebody to carry this around for 6 months, you know what I'm saying, and say that they are literally the number 1 SOB, across the board until the tournament's held again and we find a number 1 contender, and we have them go up and face them. We're going to do that every 6 months. So, like I said, whoever wins gets to hold it for 6 months. But as far as the first individuals getting in, I'm thinking about holding like maybe a promo tournament before then in June. If people want to post individual promos, like just post one great promo, the best promo that you can do, not necessarily aim towards anyone, but aim it towards everyone, and depending on how many spots are available to fill out a bracket, that's how many I will pick, as far as individuals to go in at that point. I don't want it to be too many because, I do want it to be, it is about company representation too, because, when I say it's not about you, it's about me, that means it's all about you. You know what I mean? It's about everybody as a whole. Communities growing together. Like I said, not everyone's going to come together in the same group under one roof at all times. But as a whole, once or twice a year, I can make it happen. We can make it happen. You can put your egos aside. You can put your, this person did that, who cares? You know what I mean? If you don't want to be a part of it, don't be a part of it. But me personally, I think a lot of people should want to be a part of it,
Yeah. I get that. Hey, like I said, here you go. There's TJ Crago there. It's about SME.
Big SME supporter.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to feds coming together, you are like a big advocate for that. You are definitely something that it should happen. Because, I mean, you have things like, this tournament you're coming up with. You have Champion Showcase, which has been coming around now for its third year.
Right.
What do you do if someone's in this tournament that just is really pissed off with the decision and gets very bitter on it?
That's going to happen. You know what I mean? It's competition. I mean, remember when we were kids and you played, baseball or dodgeball, you know what I'm saying? And you lost, your team lost, you got upset. It's that same mentality. You just have to learn to move past that. I've been there. You get upset, you get over it. you either
handle that loss. Do you get mad?
You either handle it, you either learn from it and get better, or you let it destroy you, and you end up walking away at some point.
Do you go on Facebook Live for 30 minutes and rant about how bad the judges are and how bad the places ran and I'm leaving?
To each their own. I don't agree with all that stuff. I try not to badmouth too many people, too many individuals, because I appreciate what everyone brings to this game. Yeah. And I don't always get that image. Yes, I have said some, things that not everybody agrees with, but if we need to go explain context, we can do that in the DMs. But it's just one of those things.
Here, let me ask you this. Is it a hobby? Is promoing a hobby?
Oh, how do I explain this?
On this?
Okay. This could be debated. Because in general, at its core, it is a hobby. Okay. In a game at the same time. However you want to define that. You don't have to be here. You don't have to do this. You don't have to click on and do videos and come on here and get made fun of and deal with the shit that you deal with. You can always walk away, but you don't. You come back for more because we entertain you. That's what to me, I feel like I'm an entertainer. It's not about the competition anymore to me. It used to be, to me, it is a business. Because I have won championships, I've won T-shirts, I've won trophies, I've won, money. It depends on how you approach it, what it becomes. So, but yes, at its core, it is a game and a hobby that we all choose to take part in. Again, if you don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough running it. Here you go. What's the most problematic thing in the promo world today?
Oof. That's a good question. Most problematic thing in promo. Non-communication, I would have to say, has always been the biggest, because when you don't know someone and when you come into a new company or you're introduced to a new company, introduced to this game, you come into it not knowing what's going on. You don't understand storylines and certain things. Even if it's comp, there's people still playing out storylines inside a competitive field. It's the way it goes, in some shape, form, or fashion. Sometimes, not all the time, these people talk behind the scenes and they know what's going on, but you don't. You're being entertained. You're being pulled in. Okay. So when you get in your emotions and you get tugged in and you get shadified, that's what's just happened. You've been shadied. Okay. It is intentional. I do tug at your heartstrings. I do walk that thin line purposely, um, without crossing it, and that can be interpreted by many different people by many different ways.
Yes. Yeah.
As many people that do it, so to speak. Um, but I love it. You know what I mean? Like I said, I've done it for over 25 years. As far as being problematic, it's just non-communication. People need to talk to each other more. You have a match with somebody, hit that person up in the DMs and, be like, hey, you got problems with me, like, and they'll explain to you, no, dude, it's just a game. Like, I'm just talking shit. You know what I mean? Don't take it to heart. Just bend over and take it. It's I don't know how to any other way. I explain things a certain way. Not everybody agrees with my verbiage all the time, and I get that. Not everybody's raised the same way in the same areas in the same parts of town with the same groups of people, and what don't you have to learn to look past that, see the individual for the individual and what they're trying to do. I'm trying to promote this game, promote this sport, and if it turns into a business, I'm building a brand. My brand is all of you. Everybody else doing their part. I get it to that part, y'all are coming with me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not just me. It's about everyone. Communities growing together, and like I said, not everyone's going to be at the same place, but you know what I mean. A couple of times a year, man, throw your shit aside, man. Let's really fucking put on some entertainment for the masses and put on some really great matches that you don't fucking see, because this guy's in this company and they're not going to leave. They're exclusive. Whatever. It's okay.
You like that
you want
term, exclusive?
I've been there, because damn, at one point I was just one company. I got tired of running around everywhere, and people do. They want to dedicate what they consider is their craft and their art form to just one place, because they feel like if they're in multiple places, they can't truly give their full commitment to it. And I get that. I understand that. But some of us can, and me personally, at some point, you've got to get out there and you've got to go to check out the different companies and to get your name out there, to get exposure. Social media entertainment once or twice a year is going to help people do that, help companies do that. They're going to see, oh, I didn't even know that company existed. I didn't even know, who is this person? That's going to happen every time I hold an event, so, but that's what I want.
You see a lot of new people, new faces in different places. It's pretty wild. I got one more question for you. Where do you see the promo world in 5 years?
In 5 years.
Is it still going to be around?
Oh yeah, most definitely. In some shape, form, or fashion, whether, I've seen it go from magazines, mail-in days to emails that took weeks at a time to get a response back, to MySpace, to Facebook, to YouTube, to X or Twitter, to X now. There are so many different platforms where people take part in shit talking. It's basically, what I call, it's like watching your mama jokes, on TV back in the day. It's two people verbalistically going at each other. You don't necessarily mean everything that comes out your mouth towards the other person. It's just meant to fucking damn get from the audience. Remember that.
Remember, I mean, we've seen AI over here, Meta AI. They've come out here and you can ask it questions and predict.
They're listening to us now.
I mean, are they going to start cutting promos? Are we going to have meta AI promo battles at some point?
I'm sure somebody in some way will find every year somebody comes out and knocks some kind of promo out of the park and shows people something new. And, because people didn't always use green screens, it used to just be turn your camera and now you have all that stuff. So once somebody sees something that they're drawn to, they tend to, want to repeat it themselves. And yeah, I definitely see the promo game here alive and well. And if I have anything to do and say about it, SME will be running strong as hell. And will have really changed the promo landscape in the next 5 years.
There we go. Well, I'm going to pull myself off the screen here. You go ahead and plug and tell people where to find you real quick and anything you want to add.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, you can find me anywhere that's associated with SME. Social media entertainment, go check the page out. Give it a like, share, and a follow. Check out, the companies that we represent: SWA, which is Social Media Wrestling Association; GWF, which is Global Wrestling Federation. You got companies like HSP, Heart and Soul Promotions. You have companies like Revolution, Asylum, WKP, Defiance. There are Heresy, Blasphemy, UWO. There are so many companies. Not every company is perfect for you. You will find a place under the SME banner that you like and people that you can associate with and get along with that will explain this game and business to you and help you get to wherever it is you are trying to achieve. Winning something like this, means something to a lot of people. Maybe not doesn't mean something to everyone, but most of us come to this because we were wrestling fans and we wanted to be a wrestler or something at some point in time. We wanted to stand in the corner and raise a title belt, high. This is your opportunity starting in July. Go find a company. If your company owners don't know about SME, let them know. Tell them to hit me up. Shady Mckinzie, Eric Hollander. I'm not a bad guy. I'm trying to really truly give back to this industry what it has truly given to me over all these years, and you can believe that. Yeah, and if you don't like it, well, that's just so shady.
I was expecting that to come out the end. Why was I expecting that? I don't know. But yes, folks, make sure you check out the SME, check out the SWA, VPW, GWF. Who am I forgetting?
I didn't even mention, but yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. There's so many companies that just slip my mind sometimes. VPW. Make sure to check out Dr. Quack's podcast. Promo Entertainment News. I mean, there's so many. Like I said, not everybody gets along and all that stuff, but everybody does put out good stuff. Not everybody, but I'll let you know where not to go.
And there we go. With that, thank you, Shady, for coming on here. This was a great interview. Thank you for talking to us about SME. By all means, check them out. Thursday, I will be having the legendary Tin Man on. We're going to be talking about his career and possible return. We might be finding out some stuff here. Stay tuned. Till then, I'll see you next time.